Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Hagen-Botham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, Andrew Bartolotta.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, where we bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good in our community and around the globe. I'm your host, Andrew Bartolotta, and joining us today is Tricia Schepp, affectionately known as the Candle Lady. She is the founder and owner of LumenCLT, a small batch soy candle company based in Charlotte, North Carolina, with ambitions to grow across the country. From humble beginnings in a craft group to creating custom candles for events and retail partners, Tricia's journey is a testament to the power and impact of female entrepreneurship. So join us as we explore Tricia's path to success, her dedication to creating healthy, beautiful candles, and the strategies that have fueled her growth. Tricia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Now, first start off by introducing yourself and giving us some background on how you got into candle making.
Sure. So I started Lumen Candles in 2018, but way before that, when back in the day when I was in college, I worked in retail for a home accessories store. The pillows, the throws, the candles. Really became obsessed with their candles, and bought a ton of them, sold a ton of them. After college, when I transitioned into the corporate world and left the retail environment, of course, lost my employee discount on those candles. Just kind of thought about it. I was like, could I make a candle? Can I do this? So I started kind of digging in and doing a lot of research on how do you make a candle? And that research really proved that the candles I had been burning were actually pretty unhealthy. There's three main ingredients to a good candle. It's the wax, the oils, and the wick. So I just kind of broke it all down and did my research on, what I wanted to use to make it a healthier version for families and pets. So that's when it started back in 2018. And then as I grew, as I attended pop-ups, I started to get some brand recognition. I'm in a few local stores now. And then I went to the corporate branding side of things, and I, put somebody's logo on my candle. I did some birthday favors, wedding favors, things for realtors, home builders, and it's been really cool. It's really grown a lot. So that's where we are now.
Awesome. Well, I love that you have a passion for, home decor and candles and making a house a home through a scent, and then realize that some of the scents you are burning in your house are toxic. To be quite honest, explain the difference between your candles and those from big box stores.
Sure. So the wax that I use is soy. Soy, of course, is a vegetable wax made from the oils of a soybean plant. So it's environmentally friendly. What you'll typically find in stores is paraffin wax candles. And I think the reason they use paraffin wax is it's very inexpensive. It travels well, like it won't, melt in transit. But again, I think probably because it's less expensive to mass produce. But, soy, besides being a cleaner burn, it also burns about 50% longer than a paraffin candle. So that's just like an extra bonus. And then the oils that I use, very important. They're phthalate-free, paraben-free, and non-toxic. So, some of the oils that are out there are awful, and until you really dig into it, you might not know that. So that's what I did.
Yeah, definitely. I think as a parent to 3 toddlers, one thing that we became cognizant of was things like dyes in food and such. But then when you think about the scents that you have in your home or, throughout the community where your kids spend a bunch of time, you have aerosols and you've got candles and you've got things plugged into the wall, and you think that you're masking maybe the smell of just 3 children or the smell of animals or whatever, just that good smell. But then you realize that it can create some really dangerous things. So being able to know what's in your candles and what's making them smell great and still safe for those around you is paramount. What,
Exactly.
yeah, so what would you say, how did word of mouth play a role in the growth of your business?
It played a big role. Charlotte is a very small business friendly community. And, as I put myself out there at, the pop-ups, I would hear somebody say, "Oh my gosh, this label is familiar. I've seen this," and whether it was at a store or they were gifted the candle, like that makes me feel amazing. Like something that I created is in your home and you're enjoying it. I love that. So word of mouth definitely, as people receive it and they love it and they understand the components of it, and it just kind of, it spread that way. And that's how it spread to corporate as well. Because my friends who work at these companies were looking for, recruiting pieces, something to give a new hire when they onboard. I know they've been used at events, like corporate events, as like giveaways at their tables. So, I mean, it's super cool.
Scent is one of the five senses. And so for you to be able to create lasting memories through, like you said, as a corporate sort of partnership in creating these brand partners with the candles and having like for recruiting, onboarding, for real estate or whatnot. And then people remember those experiences with the scent. So it builds customer loyalty, not only with Lumen and your company, but also the company that they partnered with, that you partner with. So it's really cool to be able to see that. What would you say has been your most effective strategy for growing your clientele and maintaining customer loyalty?
Growing my email list, and kind of as I do pop-ups, as I meet people, handing them my card and telling them that I'll randomly send them, the emails with tips, or, a free shipping code for the weekend or something. Um, once you're in people's minds and they remember it, then they gift it, and then it just kind of spreads that way.
Yeah, I think that that's a great answer because it builds that relationship. And with that, I think that's what's so important about small businesses and entrepreneurship, because when you have things like these local pop-up shops, in
Mhm.
addition to small businesses that carry your candles in their retail stores, I think it helps build that clientele, of course. But talk about what you think is, as someone who's been to and helped many local pop-up shops in your area, talk about maybe for the government listening or a group that wants to put on a local pop-up shop, how important they are for female entrepreneurs, small business owners to say, here's a platform to sell your products and get your name out there.
The pop-ups are incredibly important. I can't even tell you how many different people I meet. And like I said, like that's how you get the brand recognition, is being out there. As a new small business owner, you might not be able to get your product in anywhere for a long time because it's brand new and people aren't sure. So, the pop-ups really help get it out there before you can expand into other areas. So they're hugely important for small business. And I always try to support, if I'm not going to vend, I will go and shop because I know the importance of it. And
There's definitely like a serotonin boost, as you go
yeah.
feel feel good and happy. And then on top of that, with your product, it being candles, once again, that scent exploration and creativity and familiarity between a maybe a honeysuckle scent and growing up in the country and stuff like that.
Yeah, it definitely ties back. It always ties to a memory. Someone will smell a candle and be like, "This smells like my aunt's house." And I'm like, "Is that
Oh, wow. So talk
good?"
about some of your scents. What are some of the scents that are the most popular? What are some that you love the most? And then what are some that you hope to create in the future?
Yeah, so right now for summer and spring, I would say sea salt and orchid is very popular. Um, a lot of the citrus ones, I have one called Lava, and that's been popular. That's been one of my OG scents that I've had since 2018, and I'm never getting rid of it. um, Another one that I love for a year-round scent is called Amber and Oak Moss. It's earthy, but it's not like dirt earth, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't smell like I don't know. It's just a clean, fresh,
Okay.
year-round scent. And that one, both men and women like, so that's been a super popular one. I think what I want to try to do next maybe for Father's Day is to do like a leather scented candle, because I feel like that might be something different and unique.
Yeah. Okay, so you talked about some of the scents. How do you present them? Are there specific sizes? Do you have one size? Talk about the containers they're in.
Yeah, I have multiple different vessels. I have a classic jar, which I call, and it comes in two sizes, a small and a large. And that has the black and white Lumen label on the side. That's where I get the brand recognition from. And I also have a 3-wick jar called my hex jar, and that is very pretty. It looks like kind of like a honeycomb outside. And then I have a jar called the sexy jar. And it is a heavy cut glass lid. It has a lid, just a beautiful, beautiful vessel. So the sexy jar is super popular too.
I love that they're called vessels, because here I am calling them containers, but it is so much more than that. It is a vessel for that scent to just, continue to touch so many people and enjoy the candle. Let's dive a little bit more into the brand partnerships. Give me some examples that were successful there, and how people can get in touch with you about creating a partnership with you.
Yeah, so brand partnerships are super important. A lot of times companies want to give something that is meaningful and won't just be like tossed aside after an event. So candles are really good for that. And I can put, a logo, a phrase, an event. I did one for a local gym, and they were giving them to their new clients who signed up, and it was like a welcome candle. So definitely can customize it to however you want it to look. And then also I have like a scent menu that you could choose from of the tried and true, like great scents that I have. And again, choosing the vessel based on, what your event is like, and the sizes, different price points.
Very cool. I love that there's such a broad way to customize it for not only your price point, but also for the impact you're trying to convey for the client, the customer, what have you. What puts a smile on your face when you look at the work that you've been doing since 2018 to expand this brand of beautifully crafted soy candles, and what makes you most excited about the future?
I think what I'm most proud of is like the humble beginnings, that when you start a small business, you just don't know what you don't know, right? So and my advice to that too is just start, just try it. Just, if it doesn't work, then, adjust it till it does. But I have to tell you a funny story. So when I first started in 2018, my very first pop-up that I went to, how when you go to a pop-up event and everyone has those beautiful white topped tents and they're all lined up and it's just like beautiful. Well, I did not have a tent, so I used a camping tent. No lie. I had a camping tent at the end of my row, and I had my table at the very front of it. I would look back. I wish I had photos. I really do, because that's how you've come a long way. And even how I made the candles. I was using a double boiler on top of my stovetop to make a candle back in the day. So, I think the impact that I'm noticing is, especially with the corporate partnerships, just for them to seek me out it feels amazing. Like I feel like, wow, this is an awesome company, a big company in Charlotte, and they are reaching out to Lumen for their candles. I think that's awesome.
Where can people go to learn more about Lumen, view your products, purchase them, and talk about brand partnerships?
Yeah, so I have a website. It's LumenCLT.com. And you can shop there. You can read about Lumen. You can read about the safety stuff that we talked about. And the best way to get in touch with me for corporate events or weddings or anything is to email me. And that's also on my website, but that is LumenCLT@gmail.com. And then I'm also on Instagram and Facebook.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to for us to learn more about LumenCLT, the beautiful candles that you sell, but also sharing some advice for aspiring entrepreneurs in the small batch product industry. I think it's so great when you're able to share some of the lessons that you've learned as well to be able to create this brand that is continuing to grow. Congratulations on your continued growth, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Andrew.